Okay, welcome to Learning Lab live sessions. Today we're going to have a brief little session on how to turn in essays via Blackboard. This presentation is not going to cover all of your possibilities, but this is one of the possibilities that is most likely for how you will be assigned essays. So, in order to turn in an essay on Blackboard, the first thing that you need to do is log into Blackboard and then find the place where your instructor has posted your submission link. This is going to be very different for every professor, as every Blackboard account is set up individually. So if you don't know where to go to find your essays, ask your professor. And you'll see a page that's something like this. You'll have assignment information. You may have a due date posted. You may be able to view a rubric in advance. But what we're going to focus on is this assignment submission section. Now you have a write submission box here that will allow you to type your essay in Blackboard, but I would recommend that you don't use the write submission box unless you have specifically been asked to do so. If you copy and paste your essay into this box, it's going to remove all of the formatting, and this box doesn't have all of the tools that you need in order to format an essay properly. So avoid using that one unless you've been asked to use it. Instead, use the Browse My Computer or the Browse Cloud Storage features to attach your essay. So, if you're attaching from your computer, click Browse My Computer, and you'll navigate to your assignment and double-click to attach it. So here I have the name of my assignment, my file name. If I realize I've got the wrong one, I can click Do Not Attach in order to remove it. And then I need to check and see if my professor wants my paper to be scanned through SafeAssign. SafeAssign is a system that scans essays for plagiarism. Your professor should notify you if your class is using SafeAssign. And SafeAssign only accepts files in specific file formats. So if you submit an essay in an incorrect file type, it will still be submitted, but it will not be scanned through SafeAssign. So check with your professor on what files are accepted and policies related to SafeAssign. For all assignments that you're submitting on Blackboard, if your professor has not requested a specific file type, Microsoft Word and PDF tend to be the safest formats. In order to have your paper scanned by SafeAssign, you'll usually also agree to submit to the Global Reference Database. And now at this point, my essay is pending. I've attached it, but I've not yet submitted it. If I want to add a comment for my professor, I can do that at the bottom here. I could hit Save Draft if I wanted to complete this later, and I'll hit Submit in order to turn in my essay. Now, there are a couple of things you want to look for in a successfully submitted essay. Number one, you're going to get a confirmation number at the top of the page. Number two, you can see a preview of your paper. You can view the paper and read it if you've submitted in a correct file type. My SafeAssign report is in progress. It takes a little bit of time to process. But if your professor has set it up so that you are able to view your own results, then in a few minutes, you will be able to see your SafeAssign report. Now, how many attempts you have to submit an essay will depend on how your professor set up the submission link. You see it says Start New right here. This essay that I submitted was set up to allow multiple submissions. So let's say I forgot to put my title on it and I want to resubmit. I could hit Start New and begin the process one more time. If you do not see the Start New button, that means you do not have any attempts remaining. If you don't know how many attempts you have to submit a paper, contact your professor for that information. In order to verify that your essay has been submitted properly, you can also go to My Grades. Underneath all, you can see all of your assignments that are in the gradebook. This one that I submitted has a yellow exclamation point, so that one has been submitted, but it has not yet been graded. I can also click Submitted at the top of my grades in order to see submitted assignments. And at the bottom, I can see the submission receipt, which will show me that confirmation number again. So that's what a correctly submitted essay looks like. Next, I'm going to show you what an essay looks like in an incorrect file format. But before I do that, are there any questions so far? Okay, so I'm going to navigate to another essay. Once again, we have assignment information. We have the same submission information. The thing to note about cloud storage, Google Docs, is that Google Docs does not use one of these approved file formats. If you are using Google Docs to write your essays, you will need to export that file from Google Docs into Microsoft Word or PDF format in order for Safe Assign to scan it. So I'll show you what happens if I attach an essay without converting it to the correct file format. Same process as before. And I hit the submission button. So once again, I have a confirmation number. I have a Safe Assign report pending, but it's probably not going to bring up viewable content in the end. And most importantly, I am not able to preview my essay here. I have a download button. For my professor to view this essay, my professor will have to download it to their desktop. So it's a good idea to check with your professor on file format policies and how to turn in essays. So those are the basics on how to turn in an essay using Blackboard. Are there any questions? All right, thank you very much for attending. And if you need any help with your essays, be sure to come see us at the online learning labs. You can find our schedule at austincc.edu/tutor. Thank you.